Hello chess friends and welcome to the channel. In today's video, one of the best games of round 8 played yesterday at the chess.com Grand Swiss 2019. After 8 rounds, 3 players are leading the tournament with 6 points: Fabiano Caruana, Levon Aronian and Anton Guijarro. Half point behind them, there are 10 players, among them Magnus Carlsen, Nakamura and the great Vishy Anand. Yesterday Anand played against Fedoseev, and this is the game that I'm going to show you. Let's get started. Anand with the white pieces opens with e4 and Fedoseev answers with the Sicilian defense c5. Knight to f3, knight to c6, d4 the open Sicilian. C captures, knight captures, and instead of knight to f6, here comes a sideline, queen to b6. Now the knight and the queen are both attacking the pawn, both attacking the knight, so knight back to b3, and here comes e6. Knight to c3, not only protecting the pawn that, at least for now, doesn't need protection, but controlling d5. Queen back to c7. 6 moves and only few games in database. Here comes f4, an aggressive line, d6, creating a Scheveningen center, bishop to e3 that develops the bishop, also protecting this weak dark diagonal, knight to f6, and here comes bishop to d3. Fedoseev continues with bishop to e7. Let's go back one move. Knight to b4 with the idea of winning the bishop pair is playable but slow. In fact, to win the bishop pair, black will give to white a good advantage in development and again 2 pawns in the center. So bishop to e7, queen to f3 with the queen that moves to the king side, knight to b4 is played now, and short castle for white. Bishop to d7, preventing bishop to b5 so that the knight can't win the bishop pair. Only one game in database and not between top players, so we can consider the game already original. Here comes a3, attacking the knight captures on d3, and the c pawn recaptures on d3. Now, because the c file is open, of course, Anand will play the rook in a to c1, so bishop to c6 now is then an inaccuracy. Here comes rook in a goes to c1, indirectly attacking the queen moves to a6, attacking d3. Here comes g4, and bishop to c6. Why not capturing here on d3? Let's watch what happens. Queen captures on d3 would be another loss of time. Here the second rook comes to bother the queen. Queen back to a6 and g5. Now, because this bishop is not on c6 but still on d7, this knight must go back to g8, interfering with a bit of everything. Here comes e5, bishop to c6 now, attacking the queen. Queen back to f2, d5 now, at least to close the center. But with f5, the attack is too strong. It's already +3 because black is too much behind in development. So let's go back to our game. We said after g4, Fedoseev doesn't capture on d3, but continues with bishop to c6. Here comes d5, g5, because it's Saturday morning, I'm a bit tired. Knight back to d7, and this pawn is still under attack. Here comes d4. d4 is not the best move, not a terrible move, because the pawn was under attack, but knight to d4 instead of d4 is much stronger. We must say that in this variation there are many in-between moves, so it's very difficult to calculate and to evaluate, but anyway, let's watch what happens after knight to d4 instead of d4. Let's go back one move. Knight to d4. Now the queen can capture. Here comes b4 first, that will limit the action of the queen. Knight to b6, the idea is to jump with the knight and to exchange the queens, winning, or at least exchanging the queens so that white's attack is severely reduced. But here comes rook in f, goes to d1, attacking the queen. Queen to c4, now f5. E capture on f5 is suicide, because the knight will recapture, everything is under attack. There is also rook capture on d6, and of course black can't recapture, or there is the knight fork and the queen is lost. So after f5, only move to play is e5, knight captures on c6, b captures on c6, and here comes knight to d5. The queen can't move away, because if the queen moves away, there is knight fork winning the queen. Even if it moves here, there is this knight fork. So the best solution is to capture on c5, rook captures, knight captures, and rook captures on d5. Of course, white is winning. Knight captures on a3 now is a bad move, because here comes queen to f1, almost dominating the knight, and what happens? With short castle, there is queen to d3, and the knight is lost. If the knight moves to c2, here comes queen to b5 with check, king to f8, now queen to c6, and again the knight is lost. So this knight to d4 maneuver is strong, we must say very difficult to evaluate. So let's go back to our game. We said Anand, because the pawn was under attack, plays d4. Here comes bishop to b5, attacking the rook, and rook to f2. Short castle for black, and f5. Of course, f6 is in the cards, so bishop back to d8, but still f6 is the best move to play. Instead, Anand continues with knight to d2. Let's go back one move, let's watch what happens after f6. If f6 is played, the f-pawn will capture here on g7, exposing the king, because the rook can't move away, or there is the crashing queen captures on f7 with check. So g6 seems the best move. Queen to h3, now threatening check, the classic checkmate. So h5 must be played. G captures on h6, bishop captures on f6, and here comes e5. e5 clears e4 with tempo, so after d captures on e5, there is knight to e4, second attack against the bishop, bishop back to e7, and now d captures on e5. Knight captures on e5 would be a blunder. In fact, here comes h7 with check, king to h8, now bishop to d4, attacking the knight, also pinning the knight. f6 doesn't work, because there is the capture, knight capture on f6, knight jump to d3, but here comes knight to d7 with the discovery check, e5, and rook captures, and knight captures on f8 wins the game. So strong this f6, another difficult line to find. Here comes knight to d2, with Anand the idea is to centralize the knight. Bishop to d3, f captures on e6, now this is a mistake, and again f6 was the best move. F captures on e6, the queen is under attack and moves to g4, threatening d6. Rook captures on f2 is good, because changing the pieces is reducing the strength of the attack. King captures on f2, and here comes knight to f8, protecting the pawn. d5, e5, and with the center now again closed, here comes h4. This position g6 was played, and this is an inaccuracy at best, because g6 will become a point of contact and also a target. Bishop to b6 with the idea of keep changing pieces is the best chance for black. Here comes e5. G captures, queen captures, bishop to b6 now, queen back to h3, probably rook to h1 is even stronger, rook to e8, knight back to d1, now bishop to e2 is good, because capturing here is a bad idea, because white will recapture with the knight, and let's notice how strong this knight will become. Here comes queen to e1, so in case of bishop captures, the knight on d1 is the king that can recapture, the rook can stay on this important c file. Bishop to d4 now is not a great move. Knight jump to f2, and now black must change this bishop, or it's white that will make this move. Instead, here comes rook to e7, and this is a mistake. Bishop captures, e captures, and rook to c8, pinning the knight. Rook to e7, protecting the knight, but now this file is open. Here comes e5. D captures on e5. Knight to e4 is a good move, but d6 is even stronger. Let's go back one move. d6 is strong because if the queen captures, the bishop is lost. So bishop back to b5, controlling d7, but here comes knight to g4. Queen capture now is possible, but there is knight to h6 we check, king to g7, knight captures, king captures, queen to b3 wins the bishop. So let's go back to our game. We said after d capture, instead of d6, knight to e4. But of course, the position of the knight is better than before. So there is an advantage for white. This position, what to play? If queen to d3, trying to exchange the queens, not played by Fedoseev, this is another variation that I'm showing you, is the best defense, but even with this move, with correct play, white will win the game. Knight to f6, we check first. Rook captures, queen captures, bishop captures, g captures, and of course there is a strong endgame advantage for white. So after knight to e4, here comes h5, that is a blunder, but at least is a try. G captures on h6, rook to f4, and here comes queen to e6 we check, also attacking the queen. Black resigns. Let's watch a possible continuation. If the king moves away, it's a simple checkmate. Let's just try king to h7. Here comes knight to g5 we check, king to h8, queen captures we check, queen to f6, and fantastic checkmate, rook captures on f8. The queen of course is pinned. This is checkmate. So what happens? After queen to e6 we check, black is forced to capture. But after queen captures on e6, here comes d captures on e6, and this pawn is unstoppable. Going back to our game, after rook to f4, instead of queen to e6 we check, Stockfish finds another beautiful idea. Let's watch it together. Instead of queen to e6 we check, Stockfish will play rook captures on f8 we check, the rook recaptures on f8, and here comes queen to g3 we check. Of course, king to h8 is checkmate in one. So king to f7, queen to g7 we check, king to e8, and here comes d6. d6 threatening checkmate in one. Black is forced to sacrifice the queen because rook to f7 doesn't work. Knight to f6 we check, king to d8, queen to g8 we check, the king can't move away, rook to f8, and now queen captures on f8 is checkmate. Anand the Tiger, 50 years old in December, is still one of the strongest players in the world. I hope that you liked the video. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because we will meet later today for round 9. For now, I thank you very much for watching and see you soon. Goodbye.